We are just a little bit over a day from the 2022 United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. The time this comes out, it'll probably be under 24 hours, but at the time of filming, it's 25. We're going to talk about everything about the US Grand Prix. We're going to talk about the favorites. We're going to talk about the race details, the defending winners, who's going to win. I'm going to make some predictions, but we're also going to talk about the fan experience. I went to this race last year, give you some, I guess you could call them tips, give you my advice, I guess, on where to go, some of the best seating areas if you're doing general admission, which is what I did last year. If you're in the grandstand, great. We'll still talk about that. And if you're looking for tickets, they're still available on different ticket sites. So yeah, let's just get right into it. We're going to talk about the race details first, and then we will get into the race details. I will show you some of the perspectives I had last year, some of the seating areas, some pictures, videos, all that stuff, but it's expected to be a busy weekend again. Last year, over 400,000 people attended the 3 days. It's about the same number, maybe a little bit more. I think they said 440,000. For the 3 days, but last year on Sunday, I think it was about 150,000, I want to say, so there are going to be a lot of people at the racetrack. Speaking of, what is this racetrack? It's Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. You can see the skyline if you are on the Turn 1 hill, 3.41 miles, 20 turns. The race will be 56 laps. That is the racetrack length. I said 3.41 miles. For those of you who do not use this system, what's it called? If you use the other system that they use literally everywhere else in the world, it is 5.49 kilometers, so 5.5 kilometers. The defending winner is Max Verstappen. He is also the defending pole sitter. Qualifying will be later this evening at about 5 o'clock local time. And as I said, defending race winner, defending pole winner. He did not lead every lap last year. Him and Lewis Hamilton led laps there in that race. They exchanged stints basically through strategy. It's supposed to be a hot day. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The high is 90. The most wins in Circuit of the Americas history, so not just the US Grand Prix history, but Circuit of the America history. There's been 10 races there, been at that track since 2012. Lewis Hamilton has the most wins with 5 wins. Out of the active current drivers in Formula One, 4 of them have won. Of course, the most recent winner, Max Verstappen, the winningest winner, Lewis Hamilton. Sebastian Vettel has a win there, and Valtteri Bottas has a win at COTA. For the betting odds, let's look at those real quick. This is from Caesars Sportsbook. Max Verstappen, the heavy favorite, minus 300 as of this morning. Hamilton plus 600, so that would be 6-1 for Verstappen, minus 300. If you were to bet $100 on Max Verstappen to win the race, that would pay out approximately $33.35. Hamilton 6-1, Sainz 10-1, Russell 12-1, Leclerc is 12-1. The reason he is that low, he was about 4-1 at the beginning of the week, but because he will be taking a grid penalty starting at the rear of the field, he is now down to 12-1. Sergio Perez is also 12-1. He will be taking a 5-place grid penalty. Lando Norris, it is a huge drop-off, I guess, in terms of the odds, because it goes from 12-1 to 250-1 for Lando Norris and Fernando Alonso. Ricciardo, Ocon, and Vettel are all 500-1. Lance Stroll is 750-1, along with Valtteri Bottas. Mick Schumacher and Pierre Gasly are 1,000-1. And Yuki Tsunoda, Joe Guan Yu will be taking a 5-place grid penalty, along with Kevin Magnussen are all 2,500-1. Alex Albon is 3,000-1, and Nicholas Latifi is 5,000-1. So that is your betting odds. Obviously, there is a big drop-off after those top 3 teams, and that's basically what it's been all year. Of course, let's talk about the race itself, the championship standings, all that stuff. The Drivers' Championship has already been clinched by Max Verstappen. He is now a 2-time world champion. He clinched the championship at Suzuka a couple weeks ago. However, there is still a very tight battle for second place in the points, and also a tight battle for 4th place in points in the driver's standings. Sergio Perez for Red Bull currently sits second in the standings over Ferrari's Charles Leclerc. It is 1 point separating them. Perez has 2 wins on the year, coming on street circuits at Singapore and at Monaco. Leclerc has 3 wins, one the most recent coming at Austria in July, also has wins at Australia and Bahrain, but 1 point separates them in the driver's standings, so still a very tight battle for second. As for fourth in the standings, it is Mercedes driver George Russell. He currently sits at 207 points. He is 5 points ahead of Carlos Sainz for Ferrari. Then it's a drop-off 22 points to Lewis Hamilton. Theoretically, he could get past Carlos Sainz in the points, but he would have to win, and Carlos Sainz would have to finish out of the points. After that, it's a big drop-off. There's the battle for fourth in the Constructors. Speaking of the Constructors' Championship, that title has yet to be clinched, but it can be clinched this weekend by Red Bull. Still 3 races after this week, and Red Bull can have both championships locked up. How can they clinch it? It's pretty simple. They win the race, they clinch. Verstappen and Perez finish 3rd and 4th, they clinch. If Ferrari does not outscore Red Bull by 19 points, then it's over. So basically, Red Bull Racing, if they can continue what they have done all year long, which is winning, they will clinch the Constructors' Championship. I anticipate that happening. Let's go into my prediction. With the grid penalties to Max Verstappen's biggest challenges this year, of course, being Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez, I expect Verstappen to get the pole. I expect him to win this race. So, yeah, it doesn't sound very exciting, I know, but I think it will be fun to see Leclerc coming from the back of the grid through the field, see where he can finish, if he can get into the points. It'll be fun to see what Perez can do. Can he go from potentially 7th or 8th? I anticipate him being out-qualified by Verstappen, but still qualifying 2nd or 3rd. So 7th or 8th, what can he do? Can he get onto the podium? And then, what's the situation for Sainz? Can he challenge Verstappen? But it should be an interesting race. It should be fun. The first run to turn 1, uphill, tight left turn. We have seen multiple times the guy who has started second get a better launch than the leader. Happened last year. Max Verstappen was on pole, but he was not leading after turn 1. So turn 1, anything can happen. And, yeah, we'll see if my prediction ends up holding true. Verstappen, can he win the pole? Can he win the race for the 2nd year in a row? Now let's talk about the fan details. Let's talk about attending the race, going there, having a good time. If you're going to Circuit of the Americas this weekend, I hope you have a great experience as a fan. I hope you could see your favorite driver, your favorite team, get to cheer them on. But it's going to be a long day. Last year, they have shuttles that go to the track. If you have tickets already, you know these details. You know where to go, I hope. If you are just now buying tickets, go to the Circuit of America's website. They will tell you all the details you need to know. I do not know all those details. The only detail I randomly remembered is if you're using like a ride share, so like an Uber or a Lyft, do it to a high school that's about 4 miles away to COTA. I don't know the name. And then they will shuttle you from there to the track, and it'll be about a 15-minute walk from where they drop you off to the actual entrance of the track. The main entrance for fans is the fan zone, which is the U kind of part of the track, turns 15 through 18. I believe there's an entrance on the turn 1 side. There might be an entrance on the back side. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the fan zone's got a lot of things going on. They've got rides, they got a Ferris wheel, they've got things for people of all ages. They've got kid rides, they've got beer, they've got food, drinks, which are going to be expensive, by the way. So, you might, if you're expecting it to be cheap for food and drinks, you are wrong. Bring extra money just in case. Also, make sure to bring water. It is going to be a hot day. It's going to be 90 as the high. You could get dehydrated, so hydrate up today. Prepare yourself for tomorrow, but also bring a lot of water to stay hydrated. You will be sweating a bit. As I said, food is going to be expensive, but they're going to have a lot of different options. If it's the same setup as last year at the soccer field near the giant tower that overlooks the track, they got a lot of food options. They've got food from around the world or something. But yeah, last year I had like tacos or something. Can't remember, or maybe it was a hero. Can't remember. Some type of sandwich taco thing. Anyways, there are a lot of options for food and drinks, so there's not going to be a shortage of those, but do bring your wallet because it will cost you some money. They're also going to have tents there with merchandise, Circuit of the Americas merchandise, Formula One merchandise, and of course, team and driver merchandise. You want a hat? go get yourself a hat. You want a shirt? Go get yourself a shirt. This is not an F1 shirt, but, you know, it's what I got. What else? The fan zone, there's just a lot of things there. It's going to be busy. It's going to be crowded. It's going to be difficult to maneuver, especially when the lines start to back up for food and drinks. You're going to have to be like an F1 driver. You're going to have to maneuver through. You're going to be like going through the S's from turns 3 to 6. You're going to be going like this and this and this. Anyways, here's what I got down on my notes. If you're in general admission, I suggest getting there early. I believe gates open at 8 a.m. If you're shuttling there, try to get there earlier. Well, get there whenever you want, obviously, but there is going to be a long line. Last year, we got to the track about 8:45. We didn't get in the gate till 9:30, 9:45. It took us quite a while. There was a very, very, very long line. So just prepare to be standing in line to get in, but you will get in. You'll have time to do stuff. You'll have time to go to different seats. However, the general admission areas do fill up quick. Turn 1, by the time we got in at, what did I say, 9:30, 9:45, turn 1, the hill was full. Nothing else there to sit and have a good view of the track. So if you want to sit at turn 1, you're going to have to get to the track extra early, before the gates even open. Other sitting options, we sat at turn 16. If you don't have a front row seat there, it's going to be difficult to see turn 16 right there, but you do have a really good view of turn 1 because it is on a hill and it is inclined. You can see it. You can see a little bit of turn 3. I should be showing you a picture or video. If you want a really good seat like that no one really looks for, what we did last year is we sat in front of the turn 2 grandstand. You can only see turn 2. But you are right there, right up next to the track. You can get great pictures, great videos. You can see the cars very clearly. You can tell who is who. That is a great seat, in my opinion. And they also have a TV. The problem with turn 16, yes, you couldn't see the track right there, but they also didn't have a TV. I couldn't tell you who was leading. I couldn't tell you what battles were going on because there wasn't a TV there. So if you want a TV, you want to be really close to the track, turn 2 is a really good place. Some other options for seating, they do have seating for general admission areas up through the S's around turns 6 through 8. I don't have a picture or a video, but there is grass over there. You can put your lawn chair, put out a blanket, lay on the grass, whatever you want to do. So that is an option as well. Down towards turn 11, there's a TV on the turn. So if you want to sit on the inside of the turn, if you want to sit on the outside of the turn, you're going to have your options, but you're going to be able to see the cars come down from turn 10 into turn 11 and down that long, long straight all the way down to turn 12. You can't quite see turn 12, but you can see them going down that straight. So you'll have a really up close, good view of the cars, and you're also going to have a TV there. Other options, turn 19 has a little bit of seating area. If you're general admission, you can see a good chunk of the track there. Turns 19, turns 18, turn 20, and you can also see turn 1, so a little bit more than the areas I just described. What else is there to know about the seating areas? I've covered turn 1, turn 2. There's a lot of open general admission section seating for the S's, so turns 3 through 6 as well. I've already covered turn 11. Nothing in turn 12 or 15, but 16. I think I've covered everything for general admission. Good job, me. What else is there? If you got grandstand seating, you should have a good view. Turn 12, if you're willing to spend the money, which is a lot of money, turn 12 is the best place to sit. I sat there for the NASCAR race, and you could see a good chunk of the track. You could see turns 1 through 9. You could see about halfway down the back straight. You could see turns 12 through 16, or 15 really. And that's about all you can see, but that is more than you will see, I think, anywhere else. Maybe turn 1 you might be able to see more, but if you've got the money, if you want to spend over $1,000 on a grandstand seat, turn 12 is my recommendation. I sat there for the NASCAR race, and NASCAR tickets are much cheaper than F1 tickets. Like, those were the more expensive NASCAR tickets, and they were still cheaper than the F1 general admission tickets. So, yeah, if you want a good grandstand seat, turn 12 is the best in my opinion. That's the only place I've sat in the grandstand, so that's a pretty biased opinion, obviously, but turn 15, I think you can see, obviously, everything right there from turns 12 to 15. I don't know how much of the back straight you can see, how much of the S's, but I don't think you can see turn 1. There is seating in turns 1, 2, up through the S's in certain areas, turn 19, turn 18, so, and then obviously the main straight. Track Invasion, yeah, that's a fun time. It really is. We missed the podium. We missed the celebration. They had it going on the speakers, but there's 100,000 people trying to get onto the racetrack, so you can't really get there. We were in turn 2, and we didn't get there until after the podium celebration. So, yeah, it's very chaotic. The fences will be broken down. They were last year. So just be patient for that. It's going to be a lot of people crunched. So kind of mind yourself, just, make sure no one's pickpocketing you. But for real, though, it is a really fun time. It's a great time to go to a racetrack, but, to go to an F1 race. So I hope everyone has fun. I hope everyone enjoys the race. I hope if you're there, you have a great time. If you're like me, you're watching at home, I hope you have a great time. But it should be an interesting race tomorrow with Leclerc coming from the back, Perez coming from 7th or 8th. But it also could be Verstappen domination. However, once again, I predict Verstappen to win. I know, boring pick, I know. But that's the rest of this video. I know it was a little bit of a longer video, but I thought it's US Grand Prix weekend. Fun weekend. Home race. I've been there before. Might as well make a very long preview about it. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Subscribe. We talk about F1 on here. We talk about NASCAR on here. We'll talk about both races that happen there tomorrow. Looking forward to it. COTA is an extremely fun track. It's got everything. It's got high-speed turns, medium-speed turns, low-speed turns, elevation changes, long straights, everything you could ask for. I love that track. So looking forward to it. And then as for Homestead Miami, we'll talk about that one too for NASCAR. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.